Okay, we'd like to start the next session. Next session is a pre-mission idea contest number 3. So we have a 5 presentation from the from 3 team presentation and 2 user presentation. Before going to the user or team presentation, we'd like to ask Professor Herman Steyn from the chair of the review team to make the opening remarks of pre-mission idea contest number 3.
Thank you very much for the introduction. The next hour and a half, we will see presentations from various teams for this PreMIC3 competition. I will tell you more about the competition in a minute, but we want to thank everyone, all the teams all over the world that send us presentations, and from those presentations we managed to match 5 teams to other teams, but unfortunately 2 developers withdrew at a late stage, and so we will only see 3 team presentations this afternoon and 2 presentations from the users that was also selected. So let's look at some background. The Mission Idea Contest was already launched in 2010, and some of us had to come here to Tokyo to discuss how we're going to do this Mission Idea Contest. And the first MIC1 competition happened the next year, and another one last year, and now we're in PreMIC3. And next year, 2014, we will have the MIC3 competition. Okay, the idea of the competition was to encourage people, students, professionals all over the world who's got nice ideas what to implement on micro or nano satellites, to present their ideas, give them an opportunity to present it, and then if they were selected also to be finalists and to come to Japan and then to present it to an audience in this specific hall in MIC1. So as it said here on the slides, it is an opportunity not only for college students but also for professionals, professional aerospace engineers, consultants, really anybody. If you had a good idea, you had an opportunity to present a paper and eventually to be selected. The photo on this slide shows the MIC2 final presentation that happened last year in October in Nagoya, and there was, as you can see on that slide, a lot of people that attended MIC2 conference, the finalist presentations. So the 2 that's already been organized, first one 2011 was in Tokyo, in this exact hall during 2 days or so after the tsunami, and we experienced some earthquakes in this hall while listening to the presentations. So it was for some of us quite a scary time. But we had 62 applications from 24 countries. It's a really amazing amount of applications that we received, and from those applications we selected 10 teams as finalists to come and present their ideas during that conference. MIC2, we had even more applications, 72, and also the number of countries increased by another 7 to 31 countries. So you can see that this Mission Idea Contest is really becoming an international event, and we want to thank everyone that's responsible for this, UNISEC, University of Tokyo, Professor Nagasuka, Ray Kawashima, for organizing this and give us the opportunity to come and present our novel ideas for small and micro satellites. Although some of the teams experienced difficulties especially lack of resources in their own countries, also technical capabilities. They had a nice idea, but they didn't know really how to implement it on a satellite. And so some teams, as it said on the slide, has got a very good idea of an application, a user application, but a lack in technical capability to develop that idea. And that's why we came up with a new PreMIC3. Next year, MIC3 is to bring satellite users and developers together. So a user with a nice idea but doesn't know how to implement it technically must find a developer, and the combination of the two, the team of the two groups, can then present the idea to us all, and we can then from that also select people to be finalists and to win a competition. That's the challenge. So the PreMIC3 workshop will be a matchmaking event, a preliminary event. The final event will happen next year with MIC3. More teams can participate in the final event next year. It's not just for the teams that were selected this time. The target satellite for MIC3 will be a satellite weighing less than 50 kilos. It can be one satellite, more than one satellite application. But it must be a team that's formed between a user and a developer. And if it's an international team, even better. But it can also be a team from the same country or from the same institute. Doesn't have to be separated. Today is the date of our PreMIC event, and the organizer of this event is UNISEC, as we all know. And we have to thank the sponsors also that makes an event like this possible. The Japanese Science and Technology Agency, Mitsubishi Foundation, and also the United Nations Office of Outer Space Affairs. The basic, now you have to help me, Space Technology Initiative. They all contributed and sponsored to make this event possible. The objectives of today's PreMIC3 is then to assist potential applicants, also to improve the quality of the ideas. We have a panel of reviewers here with lots of experience in space projects that can give them valuable input to prepare them for MIC3. So they will have a running start for MIC3 compared to other teams that will still come aboard next year. We also want to increase the probability of realization of the mission by facilitating international collaborators between users and developers. So today we will also want to give the users and the developers with ideas the opportunity to exchange opinions, and also for us to give them advice in the matchmaking process for MIC3 next year. PreMIC3 timeline was very short. There wasn't a lot of time available for users and developers to apply for this competition, and because of the limited amount of time, we didn't have many applications for this competition, but there was a couple of very good ideas, and that's why today we will see 3 teams and 2 users presenting their ideas selected by us. The developers, or actually first the users, deadline last year was 20th August 2013, or last year, I mean this year. They only had about 4 weeks time to prepare an idea, put it on paper and send it to us. And then after that, the 20th of August, all the ideas was put on the website. The developers could look at the ideas, and then they had about 2 weeks time to select one of the user ideas and to work out how they're going to implement it on a satellite. So for the developers, they only had 2 weeks, and that's it. Next year for MIC3, there will definitely be more time for people to look at user proposals and to select a specific user to implement their idea on a small satellite. And we notified the users and developers of the acceptance to be here today to present end of September this year. And today we're here to look at the presentations. This is just a concept of the logo of PreMIC3 that was on the website. Just quickly a slide to show you the difference between MIC1, MIC2 and PreMIC3. MIC1 competition was very small satellites below 15 kilos, and the idea of MIC1 was to present a constellation, 2 or more satellites. You cannot have a constellation with just one satellite. And we only had one category, mission idea for a nanosatellite constellation. That was the category. MIC2, we decided to bring in an idea where there's also a business component to the idea. So there was actually 2 categories, and for this competition, 1 satellite was also acceptable, and the satellite mass also increased to below 50 kilos. The 2 categories were mission idea and the satellite design for that specific idea, and the second category was an idea and a business model. So in the second category, you didn't have to concentrate so much on the technical solution, while in the first category, the technical solution was really the big part of that proposal. PreMIC3, also less than 50 kilo satellite, and it's the same as MIC2, 1 or more satellite, and in this competition we want to bring users and developers together. And MIC3 will be the same thing, it's TBD here, but I've heard it will be roughly the same, where you have users and developers bringing their ideas together. So in today's presentations we have 5 teams that were selected. All the teams are international from different countries. None of the teams themselves came from the same country or comes from the same country. 2 selected users now seek developers after 2 selected users seek developers, yes, after withdrawals from 2 of the developers, and the best team proposal from the first 3 then will be awarded a prize today at the end of the competition. The evaluation criteria looks as follows. We will give 20 marks for uniqueness of the mission, 20 marks for impact on a global society, what is the impact of your idea globally, 30 marks for technical feasibility. It doesn't help you have a very good idea, but it's technically not feasible to implement. Technical risk, if they looked at the technical risk of the proposal, they will receive 10 marks for that, and then collaborative effort, 20 marks. So we really want to bring users and developers together in this competition. So for the audience today, we want you to get hints how to propose good mission ideas and listen to the presentation that can also stimulate you to come up with new ideas perhaps, talk to the presenters, explore new opportunities for collaborations. There's definitely 2 users that will present today still looking for developers for their ideas. You can read the MIC2 book. This is how it looks, that blue one. I think it was handed out to everyone at the UNISEC meeting today. There's many ideas in those books from MIC2, and also you can listen to the questions from the reviewers today to the presenters and the comments that will be made from the reviewers, as well as general advice that's given to the presenters today. Thank you very much, and with that we can start PreMIC3.